Uh-oh, look out. It's new phone day. This is an iPhone XR that I've had for the past couple years. This is an iPhone 12 Pro Max that I literally just got in the mail right now. You can see the size difference. It's pretty different. The reason I'm really pumped for this and the reason I actually decided to get the new phone, I usually don't care about having the newest, greatest phone. But the reason I jumped for this one is because I've been keeping up with the iPhone's cameras throughout the last couple years, and this is finally one that I think I'll feel comfortable vlogging on just with that, not a real camera like this. I find myself using the iPhone footage more and more with these vlogs because it's just in my pocket, and so when something's happening, I can immediately just take it out and start filming as opposed to running to find the camera or, oh, the camera's battery's not charged. Oh, where's the SD card? It's like a whole thing always, and while this is still a great look, the iPhone 12, I think I'm gonna be happy with to use as like a main camera. I would love it if it was good enough that I'm like, let me just use this for all my videos, but I doubt that will be the case, unless it is. All my stuff is transferring to the new phone. Wow. All my stuff is transferring to the new phone right now, and then we will see how good is it. Okay, just kidding. iPhone XR. I want to have a good comparison. So this is the back camera of the iPhone XR. I just almost stepped in a dog turd. Now, let's see the iPhone 12 Pro Max. A lot of words there. Okay, rear camera, iPhone 12 Pro Max. I can't even see it right now because I'm not using the selfie camera. This is just the wide. It's the 26 millimeter equivalent. What does it look like? How good is this? This is probably the best lighting conditions you could ask for. It's cloudy, it's a soft light. Now, let us switch to the ultra wide. I didn't have that on my XR, just had the one camera. This one's got the ultra wide. I feel like this is what I would use for vlogging pretty much all the time, as long as it's light enough outside. When it gets dark, apparently this camera doesn't do so hot, which I have no idea because I've never got to have the iPhone with the ultra wide camera. I mean, look at this. So which one looks cooler? Ultra wide, regular wide, the telephoto, oh my gosh, or the selfie camera? Is this year, is the selfie camera good enough to be using for these purposes? I feel like I'm not gonna use the selfie camera over the nice back camera, but this is what it looks like. What do you think? All right, well, obviously from the footage we just saw, this iPhone 12 Pro Max is definitely a step up for quality and something that you keep in your pocket. You don't have to bring a separate camera with you. But what I'm setting up right now, this shot, is this camera on the iPhone 12 Pro Max good enough for me to use for like garage gang videos and stuff like that? An actual indoor in my studio in here. Is it good enough indoors? This is just the regular wide camera, not the super wide or anything. So this is a typical garage gang setup. What does that look like? Let's compare it to my Sony ZV-1, which is a camera that I would normally use in this situation. A little bigger sensor, a 1-inch sensor versus whatever the heck's in this thing. What's it gonna look like? Okay, here is the Sony ZV-1. Same exact lighting conditions, same everything. I just moved the tripod a little closer because this is a 24 millimeter. This one has a 26, but this is a camera that I usually feel comfortable using in a situation like this because it's still small, but it's a big enough sensor. You can get the background blur if you really want it or get super close. I'm not someone who's crazy about my background blur. I don't care if the background's blurred out as long as everything looks good. That's why I really kind of thought maybe iPhone 12 Pro Max could be a phone I would use for my actual YouTube videos, and that's what we're testing right now. What do you think? Let's try the ultra wide on this. There are lights in here, but I would still consider this low light, especially for something like this. Tiny little phone sensor, it's not gonna do great. Maybe, let's find out. Maybe it's the best thing I've ever seen. Okay, and here is the ultra wide. The camera's probably 2.5 feet from me right now. This is more the look that I like usually than a standard. I don't like the flat look. I like an ultra wide, this kind of look, but this camera on the iPhone 12 Pro Max uses a smaller sensor with a smaller aperture. So in low light, which like I said, this is kind of low light, it falls apart quick. I haven't seen this footage yet. Maybe it's great. I'm expecting a little bit of grain. And the main problem is, even if this footage does look fantastic right now, the main problem I have with using this camera for my YouTube videos is this. Let me show you. This is what I see when I'm being recorded. I have no idea if I'm in the frame, if top of my head's chopped off, if I'm in focus, if it's too dark, too bright. I have no idea because all I see is the back of the phone. If I turn it around and use the selfie camera, the quality drops off dramatically. Let's try it. Don't get me wrong, the selfie camera on the iPhone has come a long way, but I can already, even on the phone screen, I can see the grain up here. I can see some grain on the shelves back there. It's not ideal. So if I wanted to use this as my main YouTube camera, I'd either have to learn to really trust the phone to just be fine. It's like I can't even tell when it's on the back. I can't even tell if it stopped recording. If someone called me and it stopped recording, I would have no idea. I don't know. I'm intrigued. That's why we do all the testing, because I just want to know. I want to know how good is it really. It would be so sick to be like a 700,000 subscriber channel on YouTube that films everything on their phone. That would be amazing. I secretly want that.
My final thoughts. iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's a fantastic vlog camera. It looks insanely good for something in your pocket. Would I use it over my ZV-1 or my A7S for making actual YouTube videos? I mean, it really depends. Am I in a hurry? Do I have time to set up? I would happily use it for anything, anytime. My main problem is with everything else besides the quality. The fact that I can't see what is happening right now. The fact I don't even know if I'm being recorded. That's a big one. There's also some weirdness going on. I think this camera, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I think they're filming a new kind of HDR, the Dolby HDR. My laptop, it doesn't know what to do with that yet. So it actually looked, I'll put an example clip right here. It actually looked really crazy and overexposed, and I had to bring it back down. So I need to try to learn to turn the HDR off or wait for Premiere Pro to be updated where it can handle that footage. If you know something about that, leave it in the comments because it drove me crazy. I say all of this to say I would happily film YouTube videos on this phone anytime. I would just have to learn how to trust it because I can't see it. And that sucks. There might be a way to record externally, like a HDMI out of the iPhone to my normal recorder like I do. And if that was the case, then I would happily use it because then it looks good to me. So I don't know. Let me know what you think of my testing down in the comments. Would you use this phone for your YouTube videos? Would you stick with a small camera like the ZV-1? Would you stick with the Big Daddy camera, a full frame camera? What would you do if you were me? All right, guys. I don't know why I make these videos. I'm literally insane. Have a bye 5.